Now we all know that cycling's one of Australia's favourite pastimes. And let's face it, most of us have a bike. Some of us even have 2 or 3 hidden in a shed that haven't been used for years. But did you know that your old bike could literally change the life of someone else and give them a chance at employment, self-respect and a whole new lease on life? Today we meet 2 great men and introduce you to an organisation that are changing the world one bike at a time. Now I'm here with Matt McCulloch, who is the Australian founder of the Bikes for Humanity chapter here in Melbourne. And Matt, how are you?
Well, very well.
Excellent. Now Matt, tell me, how did all this begin?
Well, this all began about 2 years ago when I asked after an old friend of mine, Michael Link. And it turns out that he had been in Namibia for the last 3 or 4 years at that point, bringing in bikes from the developed world and distributing them in the developing world and making a huge difference. So when I found out what he was doing, I didn't really have a choice. I just had to kind of plug in, and we started the chapter in Melbourne.
So what do these bikes actually do to help the people over in Namibia?
Well, in these environments, a bike means that you can cover twice the distance, twice as fast, and carry 4 times the load. So for many people, it will mean the difference between education or not, access to fresh food, water, community, and importantly, economic opportunity. So it makes a fundamental difference. And often it's important to remember that, say, a bike that gives a child a chance to go to school doesn't just impact their life, it actually impacts their family and their community, and likely, their children, and it gets wider from there.
So Matt, how do you get the bikes over there?
Well, we pack them into a 40-foot shipping container. Usually we can fit about 400. It's a bit of an art to the packing, but yeah, they get packed into a shipping container and sent over. And one of the elegant solutions about the whole project is that at the other end, the shipping container becomes a bike workshop. So it stays there, it gets modified, doors, windows, an extra roof, and becomes a small business that provides employment, skills, training, and economic opportunity for the community that it is placed in.
Now, as we mentioned before, most people have a bike, and lots of people have more than one bike and don't know what to do with them. How can we help you?
Well, look, the whole project is based on the idea that almost everyone has a bike at the back of their yard or garage that they're not using. If you want to get it to us, you can take it to any bicycle superstore in Victoria, and we'll swing by in a few weeks' time and pick it up from there.
Well, somebody who's really doing their bit for humanity, and let's face it, a feat that is probably a little bit larger than most of us could actually do, is Paul, who's going to cycle from Perth to Melbourne. How are you going, Paul?
I'm doing swimmingly, thank you.
Excellent. Now tell us, how did all of this eventuate?
Well, I used to work in the bicycle industry and as a bike mechanic, and people always used to come up to me asking where they could put their, or where they could send their old bikes. And I always used to tell them to go Google. I'm sure there's something on Google. And one day I Googled, and I came across Bicycles for Humanity. And I thought, well, I've always wanted to ride from Perth to Melbourne, and many people have done it before. So I thought, oh, what's an extra challenge I could do? So I'm going to do it on single speed, and that's how it all came about. Yeah, so bit exciting.
And a very long way.
Yeah, it's a fairly long way. A lot of people do it. It's not a huge amount, but yeah, it's a bit of an effort. Yeah.
Now, when are you planning to leave?
I leave from Perth. I leave on the 16th of October, and I hope to arrive on the 27th of November in Melbourne. Yeah, so it's about 6 weeks of riding.
And people can sponsor you?
Absolutely. Yeah, they can go either to the Bicycles for Humanity website, or they can go to my website. It's a blog site, and they can donate through there.
What are you doing with your bike when you're finished?
Well, I don't know, I haven't thought about that actually. Yeah, that's a good question. I might actually send it over to Namibia or Zambia. Yeah, very good question.
Paul, what's your training been like?
It's not great. No, I've been doing quite a bit of training. I don't want to be super fit before I start. I want to ride into it. So yeah, look, I've been on the Wind Trainer, doing a bit of training like that. I go on the weekends and do a 2-day ride. I load up my trailer. I'm going to carry about 45 kilos worth of gear. So I'm doing a little bit of training on the weekends and things like that.
Well, Paul, good luck.
Thank you.
If you'd like to help Paul or Matt in any way at all, you can log on to their website at bicyclesforhumanity.com.